Okay, so I've tried to already film this video, and I originally wanted to film it in a get ready with me style, but unfortunately everything went wrong when I was filming that, including I couldn't get my hair to cooperate. I literally don't even have lipstick on right now because I cannot get any lipstick to cooperate. Because basically I only have the options of like a brown lipstick and a red lipstick, and those just aren't my vibe today. The rest of them are like really like creamy ones that like come off within like an hour, or if I even take a sip of water. So, what I wanted to talk about today is number one, my mental health journey, which, by the way, I wanted to mention within this video of like, it's kind of ironic that my therapist could tell what she's walking into that day based on how I'm dressed, because this is like more so of like a okay, she's having a good week kind of vibe, versus whenever I walk in and I'm wearing a hoodie and sweatpants, my therapist already automatically knows okay, she's had a rough week. So that's one of the things I did want to talk about was like, it's so weird how I used to be so good at masking everything that's going on inside of my head by wearing something that makes me feel better about myself and then being able to go on about my day. But I'm not able to do that anymore. If you're wondering, by the way, why the laptop is here, it's because I'm using the laptop for a reference sheet because I wrote down everything I want to concisely bullet point, I guess. So yeah, I did want to talk about how my wardrobe tends to tell my therapist what the hell she's walking into. So as you can see today, because today is a therapy day, this means I'm having a pretty decent week. I mean, granted, today I've had a meltdown and I already want to put my sweatpants on right now. So I very well may. And then I also have the notes of my digital detox, which it was brought to my attention that I was misusing a term. I was calling my digital detox becoming analog, and I did find out that analog people don't use cell phones at all. They don't use cameras at all. They don't use earbuds or earpods at all. They don't use power banks, nothing. They don't use any electronic at all. So I'm assuming it's kind of like Amish style. Because from what I was gathering from online, people like analog was just like using older tech to stay off social media, not using your smartphone as much, and trying to just completely stay away from smartphones, iPads, stuff like that. But apparently, if it has a screen, it is not analog. So I do apologize for that, and I will be from here on out talking about how it's just a smartphone digital detox. And then number three that I want to talk about is actually that I've been limiting myself to 1 hour daily on my cell phone as far as like social media, because the main thing that I've gotten away from is Facebook and Twitter because of cancel culture, because I don't personally believe in cancel culture. I believe in correction, growth, and moving on. I don't believe in cancel culture. So because Twitter's a lot of cancel culture, I just couldn't mentally handle that, because I seen them tearing down a lot of people that were trying to grow after their mistakes, and they just would not let the mistakes go, and they act like their mistakes constantly dictate who they are for the rest of their lives. Because for some reason people tend not to notice that if people are grown adults, they are still going to make mistakes, and that nobody is perfect. But apparently if you have a higher status than the rest of the world, you make one mistake and then you're out. I don't know why that is, but apparently that's how it is. But yeah, so basically I'm time to Instagram only, and that is 1 hour a day only on my cell phone. However, I do not limit myself on my laptop, because honestly it's a lot more annoying scrolling on my laptop than it is on my phone, so I'm less likely to want to do it. And then number four, my final talking point, which is my long talking point, is the fact that I'm really trying hard not to make everything digital in my life, which kind of goes back into the last one, but not really. I want to talk about how I'm just choosing real connections over virtual ones. Sorry, my phone started ringing. Why people want to call me when I start filming, I don't know. I'm choosing real connections over digital ones. Like, I used to every single day be on the game with my cousins, which, like, I don't see anything wrong with that, so don't get me wrong on that. But I noticed for me personally, it wasn't good for me because I was being held up from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. playing games constantly. So this summer is about actually going out and experiencing things rather than being on the phone, in the screen, living in a virtual reality. As well as, like, I know in a couple of my previous videos I was talking about getting a flip phone, and I have decided against that since then, simply because I've read online that you could like download an offline Google Maps. You could use concert tickets without data being on your phone, but it makes me nervous personally. And then not only that, but if I'm trying to reach out to a friend, like to say like, hey, thank you for being such a good friend, I'm having a really bad day, this is what's going on, and like they're at work and they can't call, then I need to be able to text somebody, and I can't do that with a T9 keyboard. So I would much rather have my smartphone for that reason. It's just about limiting myself. So like in this summer, I'm gonna be going to the fair with my cousins, and then 2 days later, I'm gonna be going to the fair with my best friend, which my cousins are actually probably gonna meet us there anyway because our family does like this thing with the demolition derby, and we all attend it. Um, Actually, I have my exact lineup of what I'm doing this summer right here in my journal. Give me 1 second. So I have, in June, I'm going to do 2 different concerts, which is Morgan Wallen and 5 Seconds of Summer. And then in July, I have the fair with my cousin. Um, and then the next, or no, sorry, I go to the fair with my best friend first, then my cousin, then me and my best friend are going to fireworks and a food festival. And then also for a 4th of July thing too, like a local fairground is doing fireworks. Jason Aldean. I'm going to a local beach that we have. Well, it's like an hour away, but for us, it's like a local thing. It's a local beach that we go to where they have like a wine festival there too, but that's with a completely different friend. Then in August, we're going for a wine festival again with fireworks. Oh wait, no, the other one was a food festival. This one's the wine festival because it's like a winery and they have like fireworks every year. And then in September, I'm going to the fair with my best friend again, and we're also going to a demolition derby that night. And then we're going to Bret Michaels, which is going to be so funny because the person that I just broke up with used to say he was better than Bret Michaels. And I'm having pit tickets for Bret Michaels. That's kind of hilarious. And then in September, we're going to Cincinnati for Hayley Williams, which I probably shouldn't have just said where, but it's fine. So we're going for Hayley Williams, and then we're going to also, like 2 days later, go see Miko, which is an artist she's really into right now, which I'm not really like into him or anything, but I'm just there for the ride, and like I like to get out and experience new things. And then in March, I'm going to see Niall Horan, which is really exciting because I've been a fan of his since 2012. So getting to actually see him and be in the pit is going to be so damn cool. Like another thing that I'm doing, I forgot to put in my calendar. In 2 weeks, I'm taking my 2 little cousins, just the 3 of us. We're going to go to the baseball game. Me and the oldest one, we're going to get drunk off our asses because he's just turned 21. So it's the first year he actually gets to drink with me. So I think that was all my talking points. My point basically was to talk about how I was wrong and that I had digital detox and analog mixed up, and also talking about how, because I have a mood disorder, I was originally diagnosed with bipolar, but my doctor's more so leaning towards cyclothymia now. So I also want to talk about how with the cyclothymia, she could tell by my outfit, like, what's going through my head, talk about my summer plans, talk about how I'm trying to get away from all the digital bullshit, and how I'm trying to detox and become a better person, and how I think that getting out and actually experiencing things is going to be so much better than living in the digital world. So I guess that's it for today's, I guess it was kind of a rant, but really it was just me trying to correct myself, educate others and myself, and talk about my plan and how I'm currently planning to fix my life and go about being a better person. So that's it from me for today, and my throat really hurts and I feel like you could hear it. So Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. If you do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But if you don't want to, I completely understand, because I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not my own cup of tea half the time. So I will see you guys hopefully in the next one.